Hi, my name is Madison, and as a book girly, I have only ever read 2 of Emily Henry's books. I know. It's shocking, it's embarrassing, I am a disappointment to the book community. If you can hear someone mowing grass outside, I apologize. That is extremely annoying. I have read People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. I read this years ago whenever I was first starting to get back into reading, and I remember reading it because I read it whenever I got my tonsils out. So I was basically bed couch ridden, and I read this like really quick, and I remember enjoying it. A very extremely unpopular opinion, I've read Happy Place and it just wasn't for me. I feel like whenever you read an Emily Henry book, you have to relate in some way to be able to really thoroughly enjoy it. Now, I read this when it first came out, and it is now like a year later, and I am graduated from college. I am back living at home with my parents, and a lot of my friends live a long far away from me, and some of them are close but still like 40 minutes away from me. So I feel like I might be able to relate to this more, so I may do a reread in the future. I was on my phone and I was looking at the upcoming new releases, and Emily Henry has a new release coming out on April 23rd. It is currently March 24th. So I figured from now until then, I will read the last 2 Emily Henry books that I have and then read the new one in this video. Another thing is, the 2 that I haven't read are like, I feel like other than Happy Place, the 2 most popular Emily Henry books, and that is Beach Read and Book Lovers. I don't know how I've never read these books. I think I read those 2 first and I was just like averagely disappointed, whatever you want to call it. I just never picked these up because people rave about these books, and I was like, if I was disappointed in those 2, am I really gonna enjoy these 2? But we're gonna find that out. So I put on my Bookstagram on my story which one you would read first if you were me and you're giving Emily Henry another try, and Beach Read got a 72% and Book Lovers got 28%. So we are gonna start off with Beach Read. We're also getting like some springy weather here, and sun is out. It's not super warm, but the sun is still out, so I feel like this might be a perfect time to like bring out one of these books. So by reading the back, Augustus and January are the 2 main characters. Augustus is a literary fiction author and January is a best-selling romance author, and they end up being neighbors, but they're kind of like rivals in the book world, and they are both experiencing writer's block. And then one day someone comes up with this idea. January has to write literary fiction and Gus has to write romance, so they're switching genres to try and get out of the rut. So I mean, I love the concept of this book, so I'm hoping I enjoy it, but I don't know. Again, I am like 50-50 on Emily Henry books because Happy Place wasn't my like total vibe, but People We Meet on Vacation, I remember thoroughly enjoying it. So I'm like 50-50 for Emily Henry books right now. So I'm gonna pick up Beach Read, and then we're gonna read Book Lovers, and then whenever Funny Story comes out, we will read that one. So let's get into it. So this is what you guys were talking about when you all raved about Emily Henry. This book is what you guys were talking about. I started this yesterday. I read half of it. I am 173 pages in. I can't stop reading it. Like, Gus, here's the thing about Gus. I'm gonna love him every single time he opens his mouth, and that's just how I feel. January is like not annoying. Like usually, honestly, the other 2 books I read by Emily Henry's, I thought that the characters were like kind of annoying in a way. I don't know. I think it's just because I didn't relate to them. Absolutely love these characters. I love the concept of the book. The concept of the book is absolutely like amazing. Like, I don't know how our brain thought of this, but whenever I tell you that I'm not even kidding, I'm enjoying it so much to the fact that I want to finish this today, and if not today, very early tomorrow. Like, Gus, I don't know how I can get better, and I now understand what people say whenever they say that Emily Henry isn't a romance writer. She's more of a literary fiction with a subplot of romance, because the depth of the characters versus like the actual romance, the romance is amazing. Don't get me wrong. The tension, amazing. But like the concept and the stories that we're getting about the characters, obsessed. I am literally obsessed with it. I really do feel like if I reread Happy Place now, I would probably relate to it a lot, because it is like about friendships and like finding your way. But whenever I read it at the time, I just didn't relate to it. And I did like People Moving on Vacation. So I am loving this. Like out of those three, this, I can already tell it's gonna be my favorite. This is probably gonna be a 5-star read. Now, I thought that about the last book I read, and it ended up not, because it kind of fell flat in the middle. So I'm in the middle, so I'm hoping it does not fall flat, but we will see. But the update is Gus Everett, if he was real, it'd be over. It'd be over. I'm back, and this is my official public apology for saying that I don't get Emily Henry books. Because I finished Beach Read and I rated it literally 5 stars. I wanted to keep picking this book up and keep reading it. If Gus Everett was a real person, it would be over for every single one of you, because I would have to do absolutely everything in my power to make that man mine. He's like perfect. I also really enjoyed January in this book, and I feel like a lot of the time I don't enjoy main characters of books, and I like them both. Excuse my cat. I literally can't get over how much I enjoyed this book. Whenever I did put that on my Bookstagram story, I feel like a few people slid up and were like, I loved Beach Read but hated Book Lovers, or I loved Book Lovers but hated Beach Read. So I'm really hoping that whenever I'm about to go into Book Lovers next, which is like now, I am not disappointed, because I really loved this. So right now, loved Beach Read. I enjoyed People We Meet on Vacation. Happy Place was just okay. It wasn't for me. It just, maybe I'll reread it at some point. So then I'm going to move on to Book Lovers. But yeah, for like this book, 5 stars, 100%. I always heard the quote that people talk about in this book, the "when I watch you sleep, I feel overwhelmed that you exist." And I always was like, use that as an example, as like, I swoon over the things that these bookmen say, but if they said that to me in real life, I'd be like, what the fuck? Just like this one, I'd be like, I'm calling the cops on you. But it makes sense now, because in the beginning of this book, January says in the book, you know that feeling when you're watching someone sleep and you feel overwhelmed with joy that they exist? Now I understand why he says that at the end of the book, and it literally tied so much stuff together, and it was just like the most perfect thing he could say. So I gave this book a 5 stars. It was like the perfect time for me to read this, because like it's like just getting warmer out. It was like a nice spring read, because it's set like on Lake Michigan on a beach house, and it was just amazing. The chapters were long, but I actually did not mind them, because usually I hate long chapters, but whenever I was reading this, I like wanted more. So 5 stars, I understand. I'm gonna move on to Book Lovers. I fear I'm in a reading slump, because I have absolutely no desire to read this goddamn book. I don't know if it's because I wanted to read it to prepare for next week, which is whenever Funny Story comes out, and I'm just like, this, I don't want to read a romance, don't really want to read this book, but like I'm forcing myself to read it. So that can definitely be it. Like, I'm honestly in the mood for a fantasy book right now. But I mean, whenever I read the story, I'm enjoying it. It's just I don't want to pick it up. You know what I mean? I tried listening to the audiobook too, but I just feel like going back and forth from audio to Kindle, it's just like, it gets confusing. You know what I mean? But other than that, it's not bad. I mean, so far. I don't want to judge it right now, because I'm only on chapter 9, and I'm also just like kind of slumpy with it. But it's not bad. I'm just like feeling like it's mundane right now. You know what I mean? I think that's the right word. Like, basic. Like, I'm just like, oh, It's another romance, whatever. I just wanted to get this one done and finished and read because I want to be like, have all my Emily Henry books read before Funny Story comes out. So that's where I'm at right now. Okay, I finally reached the 50% mark, and this is what I mean when I say I'm like 50%, like 50-50 with Emily Henry books, because I just like, I'm not getting the chemistry between the characters. I'm not connecting them, but like, I don't, like, I feel like their attraction is just physical at this point, because they started off hating each other, and it's not even like an enemies to lovers. Like, I feel like they're doing things to each other out of spite, and I just like, I don't know, I'm not connecting with them, and I honestly don't think that they have a good connection. And I also am just forcing myself to read it right now. This is my current situation. It's like 11:30 because the Tortured Poets department comes out in 30 minutes, and then I have to stay up until 2 because Miss Taylor Swift keeps doing this with everything, and she's the Zodiac killer, and everything that she does means something. So 2 equals 2 a.m. So I was staying up for that, and so maybe I'll read some more, but I don't know. I'm just like, I'm trying to force myself to read it. I don't know. I definitely like Beatrice better. Okay, ignore the jump scare. I just got back from the gym, so I am looking a little rough. I finished Book Lovers, and this is literally what I mean when I say sometimes I get Emily Henry, sometimes I don't, because I give this like 2.753, like one of those. While I was reading it, the whole time in the back of my head, I'm like, I really can't wait for this to be over and I can pick out my next book, because I don't think that the 2 main characters had any chemistry. I feel like their attraction was purely physical, and whenever I read a romance book, I really like want there to be like a whole backstory, and like they connect on a personal level, and I just like, I don't know, I didn't get it from them, and I just like couldn't relate to anything in this book, because Emily Henry is very literary fiction with a subplot of romance. It's not just a romance book, but I mean, I don't know, like Beach Read, I loved it, and like I said before, I like People Who Meet on Vacation. Did not really resonate with Happy Place, and didn't resonate with this. So I am really 50% of Emily Henry books. With that being said, today is release day. So I'm hoping that Funny Story makes ratio 3-2. 3 like, 2 don't like, because I really want to enjoy this one. I actually placed an order for pickup for Barnes & Noble for the physical copy, and my boyfriend picked it up for me, but I couldn't wait, so I downloaded it on my Kindle as well. But I'm gonna start Funny Story, and I really hope I like it. This will be the last book of the video, but I will keep you updated because this is a new release. No spoilers, obviously, but I really hope that I like this one. Okay, you guys, we are doing a little casual recap of a Funny Story in our Edward Cullen t-shirt. I just woke up, but I finished a Funny Story late last night. So, I ended up giving it a 4-star. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. I didn't like it as much as Beach Read. Beach Read is still like my favorite Emily Henry book. I think after seeing different people's reviews, I feel like the Book Lovers and Happy Place girls didn't really like Funny Story, but the Beach Read and People Who Meet on Vacation girls really liked Funny Story. And that's me. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think my only thing with Emily Henry books is I get bored at some point in the book. Like, I'm not completely entertained and engulfed in the story the whole entire way through. I really enjoyed Daphne, the main character in this, and I also really enjoyed Miles, and I enjoyed all the other characters involved in it. The only one who annoyed me a little bit was Ashley, was her friend, because I think she overreacted to, this isn't a spoiler, of Daphne missing her birthday. Like, Daphne missed her birthday and she literally like completely overreacted about it. But I am very happy with this because, again, like I said, I am not the biggest like fangirl of Emily Henry books. I still enjoy them, but I was hoping I would like this one, and I thoroughly did. And also, look how cute the spine is with all the like little lemons on it. I think that is so cute. Final rankings of Emily Henry books, in my opinion. Number 5, Book Lovers. Number 4, Happy Place. 3, People We Meet on Vacation. 2, Funny Story. And number 1 is Beach Read. So again, not my 100% favorite die-hard author. That's always going to be Jessica Hastings. But again, I thoroughly enjoy it. I just wish I got the Emily Henry hype train. I think I did get it with Beach Read, but I don't know. I just wish I resonated more with her books, but that's not to say they're bad. I still enjoy them. I just like kind of read them and forget about them, if you know what I mean. But yeah, everyone, that was my reading only Emily Henry books video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Please like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching.